is up, squad? It's the Guru here, and welcome back to Tap Out or Cash Out. I'm here with my co-host,
Andre Petrosky.
and we got a special guest here, MMA grappler specialty, Cam Scalio. How we living, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, man. First time on the show. Last time I saw you, we were leaving Hard Rock, and you had just had a grappling match the night before. What do you got going on right now?
Yeah, so I'm making my professional MMA debut this Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Where at?
Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice. You
Yeah.
excited?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I grew up around the area, so it's nice to be able to make my debut back home.
Okay, who are you fighting?
So his name's Elijah Gardner. He's from North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say I know too much about him. I've seen a couple of his fights.
Okay. How many professional fights does he have?
He's 1-0.
He's 1-0. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a good little matchup for you to tell where you're at, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be scary. Obviously, all you've done is professional well, you've done amateur fights, right?
Yeah. I had 10 amateur MMA fights, couple kickboxing, boxing fights.
Okay, so you got a feel for
Yeah,
being
yeah.
in there. Then you're not having any butterflies. Dre, you got any suggestions for his first fight?
Yeah, so me and Cam wrestled together at Kutztown.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So me and Cam both come from a wrestling background. Cam's been training. Cam was actually the reason that I ended up at the gym.
Really?
Yeah. So originally we were both with Balance,
Okay.
and then during COVID, they shut down.
Really?
Balance shut their doors, like wasn't open at all. So at the time I was living with Cam, he moved from, I guess, right from Kutztown or from Gettysburg.
Well, yeah, so I had graduated at Kutztown, moved out to the area. I bounced around a little bit, but prior to moving in with Andre, I was living in South Philly.
That's right.
Yeah.
With Charlie? Or no,
With
no,
Dez.
with Dez, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember moving the
right.
bureaus out of the basement.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Cam was living with me at the time, and when Balance shut down, I went to Denver
Okay.
to Factory X for 2 months, and then when I got back,
Was that because of COVID? That was
Yeah.
because they were running Factor X.
yeah, and I signed with a management company that was like in
Okay.
cahoots with them.
Cahoots.
So
Not Tiki.
I wasn't with Tiki yet.
Yeah.
So, so then when I got back, we didn't want to leave. We'd just been gone for like 2 months.
Uh-huh.
So he was like, come to John's. And at
Okay.
the time it was the Red Door
Yeah.
under the bridge, under the L in Kensington. And, we've been on the same team ever since.
Was Marquez and like the web scene like it was then, or was that kind of the start of when it all formed right around that COVID time?
So at that time, John, he had his own gym, but he was more partnered with Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel Gracie at the
Gracie's
time was like doing the jiu-jitsu, and John was doing just striking.
Okay.
Well, he would do like wall work, a lot of wall work grappling, but not much like just straight jiu-jitsu. That was kind of Daniel's avenue, but yeah.
So like as a fighter, like would you guys pick like which classes, like which day of the week, because which guy was better at what? Like, is that how you kind of went, or did you kind of just go? with who you went with?
Yeah. Like, I'll speak from my experience. Like for this last camp, like I'll do, I don't often go on like Wednesday sparring.
Yeah.
Wednesday's big glove sparring, and I probably only did that like 2 weeks out of the camp just because it was like it's packed.
Yeah.
Like if you don't get the cage,
Yeah.
you are just like getting bumped into like
Really?
left and right. And I
So
was
it
like,
didn't work, really?
I'm like, what am I doing here? Like if someone falls on my like ankle, and that's exactly what happened to Jeremiah.
Really, that's how you got hurt?
Jeremiah went to throw a right hand at the same time that he planted on his right foot, and someone fell into his, and he tore his Achilles off the bone.
I didn't know that's how it happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's like, dude, that is something that like is avoidable.
Right.
So I try to go like Mondays and Tuesdays where it's like a little bit little less people,
Yeah.
and we do a lot more. Like Tuesdays is like ground and pound rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more grappling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I kind of take a similar approach. Monday is also kind of like sparring. So
Yeah.
I actually did the opposite. So I would go Wednesdays for sparring.
Okay.
I would also go Tuesdays for the ground and pound because that's a good class.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, Mondays is big glove, little glove. So it's
Okay.
2 or 3 rounds of, if me and Cam are going, Cam has little gloves.
Uh-huh.
and his goal is to take me down.
Okay.
Like, you can still strike, but the goal, you're trying to get a takedown the whole time
Okay.
and finish the fight on the ground. I have big gloves, and I'm not getting takedowns. My goal is just to box.
tee off, okay.
Yeah. So, I like it.
Yeah.
I do think it's like, I like having, I think like objective training is way more productive than just, all right, we're going to just spar. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're not you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
maybe
yeah.
you're working on something, maybe you're not, but yeah, I do like I think you get way better from like focusing your training.
So
on
so
one
what
thing.
point in the camp, right? Like when you actually know your opponent for like a 3-month camp like you have, at what point does it become like, all right, like I see this on film, like I'm gonna specifically drill this over and over again, knowing that this is probably gonna be this dude's strategy against me. Like, does that ever happen? Or you
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
what, like how far into the camp do you then like switch those days up, or is that like an additional day that you'll add on? Like you'll do the regular classes and then you'll do that like after class, or is that
No.
how does that work?
That's interwebbed in the entire camp.
Okay,
Yeah. So like, for example,
for your next camp,
Like,
you know
let's
you
say
gotta
my
work on
last for
jabs, right?
Shabazian, the guy had. We thought from what I watched, from all the film I watched, Shabazian had a good right hand. He
Okay.
loved his right hand.
Yeah.
That's how he hurt a lot of guys. So
He did fight a lot differently against you than
a
he
lot
put on film.
different. He didn't
Yeah.
throw any right hands.
Yeah, he used the jab, he used distance the whole
Yeah,
time.
I know. I know. I was just talking about this with one of the coaches at Webb's last night. But yeah, and obviously, like, every time you throw that right, or you sit on that right hand, you give up getting
Yeah,
the
he
risk.
definitely
of
studied a lot of film for the Vieira fight.
For
and saw
sure.
that Vieira was having success with the jab, and I think
For
he
sure.
used that.
So so the point of being that is that, let's say it's Cam's turn to do the grappling rounds.
Yeah.
He's the little glove guy. We'll tell the guy, yo, make sure you throw your right hand a lot.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you throw a lot of right hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. That's interesting. See, like, that's some of the stuff, like, from, like, again, being a couch potato, like, we don't know. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
how this goes on. Like, we show up on fight night and all the stuff that goes behind the scenes. This is why I like doing this, because, like, we really get to hear, like,
Yeah.
and you open up more than most guys do. Like, most guys, like, if you sit there, like, don't clam up. You say whatever I ask you.
Yeah.
So that's the cool part about our show, I think. You know, we were talking before the scene. We got these cards this week. We had an off week last week, guys, to get into this week's card. I mean, you said you liked the Cater fight that we have this week. Cater against Garcia is a great fight, but like other than that, like these next couple of weeks of cards are very questionable.
Need to see the odds.
They're actually a pick 'em, but
For Cater?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a slight favorite for Garcia. Slight favorite.
Yeah, I'd take Garcia.
Yeah. Which is weird, right? Because again,
And I love Cater.
Cal has the
Yeah, me
box.
too. I do.
Yeah.
I love Cater. I like all those New England cartel guys, but man, momentum is a powerful thing, and Father
Yeah.
Time is undefeated, and
You know what's interesting? I've actually been enjoying the PFL fights, man. So it's a very interesting spot in the industry. I was thinking about this on the ride here, right? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. So now there's been guys, right? So like there was like the old school UFC guys, right?
Yeah.
There were the UFC fighters, right? That, you know, kind of, but they didn't really fully train the way they should or the way the guys are now. This is the first time where guys have been around for a long sustained period of time that they've gotten entire cycles of training where like the top guys have stayed at the top for longer periods and gotten better, right? So now we're kind of seeing like positions that, you know, used to be like, all right, fight ending positions. Now they're kind of not even close, right? It's like guys are getting out of these fighting positions, you know, 5 or 10 times in a fight, when back 5 years ago, fights were over when guys got there, right? So my question is what are guys doing first off to adapt to that, right? Again, cardio, we've talked about this before, but it's harder, I think, as a matchmaker to get these fight cards put together, because eventually you're kind of pulling from the same pool because everybody's at the top, right? So it's like you put up a guy, you're like, all right, I'm going to give this contender a chance to try and get his name in the mix, and then he gets worked by a veteran. Well, now...
say this again. So they're pulling from the same pool.
Yeah, so I feel like it's getting diluted, and this is why it's so hard for them to come up week after week, even with an off week last week with a great fight card, because the cream is kind of already at the top, and it's been there for so long that now there's not as many fights to make because these up-and-comers aren't beating the guys that have been there. The guys that have been there are staying at the top. So now it's kind of the same. Like now we're having Poirier versus Holloway 3, right? And a lot of these trilogy fights are coming to be because there's nobody really getting into the mix.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. There's still stars coming up. Like, you know, I gave you guys the Peyton Talbot.
I know you said about
I-
Gene Silva, yeah.
I did give you the Peyton Talbot. You got the Gene Silvas coming up. Like that. And I can sign, you know, that Christian Rodriguez, Lazy Boy?
Yeah.
Like, dude, he is a mega star in Mexico.
Really?
Like, mega star.
He
Like,
disappointed me his last fight.
dude, the people didn't even, like, people that don't even watch fight, like, Lazy Boy? Like,
Really?
Yeah. But you're right. Like, he's exciting. He's awesome to watch, but like, he's not winning fights.
Yeah, and like, he had that Rosas win, and that was like the big thing. And we actually watched his last fight at the Enrights. Shout out to Enrights.
Yeah.
Big sponsors, guys. By the way, should we do power or should we do the trees? What do you think?
We should just throw out the power and the trees.
He had the shirt on earlier. Cam had the shirt on. I guess it didn't fit right, but you guys need solar. It's that time of year where it's nice to get it done right, so you don't have to worry about the snow in the winter. You get your solar done now, and then come winter time, you're nice, heated, and it pays for itself. Power. Across the bottom of the screen, hit them up. Let them know the Tap Out of Cash Out sent you. We appreciate you guys. All right, so back to the thoughts on that. You guys, what do you think about the cream rising to the top and not moving? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think there are instances where your vets, your guys are hanging out and staying at the top, like you just mentioned, Poirier and Holloway, right? But I absolutely think that there is a new generation coming up, young guys that came up rather than being specialists. For example, myself and Andre, right? We came from a wrestling background, that are just training martial arts.
Yeah.
I was just talking with James about this James Lyons. He's a coach and fighter over at Marquez.
Okay.
And he was pointing out to me the other day after training.
To Gettysburg?
I don't believe so. But he was talking to me after training the other day, and he was pointing out like some of the younger kids in the room that are training, and like they were just drilling after practice, but they were transitioning and chaining, striking to grappling to jiu-jitsu to back up on the feet. They're scrambling.
It's crazy to see, right?
Yeah, and it's like I just really started to notice, and then I went and watched Kenyel sparring like 2 days ago, Eddie's nephew. And same thing, man. Just the speed at which they're picking. And he's been doing it a little over a year.
Yeah,
like the kid is rapid.
And the muscle memory. And like, think about it, bro. Like as a kid, obviously you guys wrestled, you got your muscle memory. But like, imagine if you got all the MMA stuff as a kid. Bro. It's just like, and that's kind of what I'm alluding to, bro. Like these PFL fights again. Like even though they've done a horrible job at advertising, they had back-to-back fights on July 3rd and July 4th, and nobody even knew that they were on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the one was in Abu Dhabi. They probably got $1 zillion to fight there at that time, right? And nobody even advertised it. But like the fights were really good. Like a lot of these fights were good because guys, it wasn't like it was like the card we talked about. What was the last fight? The CFFC card. It's the same concept. It's like these guys, they know what they're doing. So it's not like you're just getting guys that are just getting mushed. Like they're showing high level stuff, but they're getting in positions where you're actually seeing damage, and it's not like there's stalemates like we're sometimes seeing in the UFC now, just because guys at the top are so good, and it's so hard to find that little edge to get a finish now. It's just, I feel like there's less and less finishes going on. I could be totally wrong, but it seems like there's less finishes going on for sure.
No, I would agree with you. I think that there's, back in the day, you would see oftentimes like one guy is just in another league relative to his opponent, and then he would just smash him in that area.
I remember when Cody Garbrandt was coming up, he was like a big name because he could wrestle and he was like a boxer.
Yeah.
And he had two skill sets coming into the sport.
Right.
And that was like
impressive.
That was like unheard of.
Yeah.
Like no one really had that like two skill sets coming into the sport.
Yeah.
But now it's totally different.
Yeah.
Now every guy has been training MMA for the past 5 to 10 years.
Just like look at Josh Van. Like there's a star who came out of nowhere. So I put my foot in my mouth at that one. But again, dude, like his whole thing was he never wrestled, he never had any takedown defense, and now nobody can take him down. I mean, Pantoja's probably gonna take him down.
Say,
but
we'll see how
he's definitely gonna be wearing a Pantoja backpack.
Speaking of foot in the mouth,
I'm a huge Pantoja guy. I've always been a
Me
Pantoja.
too. I think
yeah, he's made us. And dude, for some reason, the odds makers never they always discredit him. Like minus 250 against Car France, bro. Like he wasn't just gonna wrap him around his neck like it's like crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that was the one that I gave a few people.
Did you?
I was like, I would take Pantoja.
Yeah. I was mad at myself because I gave out that.
I wanted Roy. I thought Royval was going to beat Van. I did because I thought it was. But if you're,
I was just going to ask what you thought about that, because watching the fight, I thought that
he could have.
Royval could have been given that fight.
I think his arms got so tired at the end. If you saw, like, he was like flowing, but like his arms weren't able to be raised to throw the punches. So it was like he was like rolling, and I'm like, and he just didn't have like the power left in his arms or the energy to actually throw the punches. Like it was like, and I was like, damn, if he would have been able to throw those punches, he would have won. But they logged what 200.
No, there's
punches?
no doubt. Like there's an entirely different technique to the punching when you look at Josh Van and like Poirier, as opposed to Royval.
Yeah,
like Royval is like all arm punches.
Yeah, and rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
he's
like
longer too. He's got a
Yep.
reach advantage, so
For
he's gonna
sure.
have inherently just a different
Yep.
style of striking. But he was not utilizing his reach advantage. He was getting
Yeah.
inside.
Or his grappling.
on
I
a
thought
guy
he was
that's
gonna
tee you up.
I thought he was gonna try and grapple
Me
a
too.
lot more.
Yeah, that was my prediction. He was going to stay all the way out or all the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he ended up just brawling kind
Yeah,
of.
like I don't know. Like the only way that Van probably could have like had an advantage was the way that he fought. Which was
I'll read the post that he.
what he said. I didn't see it. Oh, this is the sweaty time now. Dev turns off the air conditioner, so this is when the forehead sweat starts. Dre's gonna call me out.
Brandon.
Oh. So what do you guys think's contributing? If you don't think that's that, what do you think's contributing to the UFC having a hard time putting together, super viewer friendly cards lately? What do you think?
I don't know that there hasn't been.
Well, this week and the next week, I mean, they're saying that first off, apparently the Poirier retirement fight is one of the highest priced tickets that there's been in a long time. And if you look, I mean, we just looked at the card. That's they're saying that might be one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
What was?
The one coming up, like a lot of fans are saying that this might
Poirier.
be this. Yeah, look at the card. We're skipping a week ahead, but I mean, like we said, the co-main's Dan Ige versus Pitbull.
You said to Poirier, bro.
Poirier.
Oh, Poirier. Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I was like, wait, what?
Poirier versus
Holloway. That's next week.
Gotcha. It's
Yeah.
going to be the worst.
It's gonna be the worst pay-per-view,
Wow.
like maybe ever. They're saying.
Here's Brandon Royval's post. A tale of the scorpion and the frog.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Some individuals are driven by uncontrollable instincts, even when those instincts lead to self-destructive or harmful actions. Wish I could have changed, but I've always been this way. Thanks for those who have supported me along the way. Obviously, a reference to him should not have been brawling with Josh
Right?
Van.
That's crazy.
Clearly. Dude, Royval's exciting, no doubt, for sure.
That was a big fight for him. That was
A huge fight. Obviously, it's the number one contender
Yeah,
fight.
I mean,
Yeah.
and now he's going to be very tough for him to ascend back up that ladder. Like this, like he kind of blew his load 2 times already. They gave him a
Yeah.
third chance, and now,
Nah, I think they can make the argument that he won that fight, and
100%.
some will say, like, if they want to build that up, they say, oh, he should have been fighting Pantoja.
yeah. What happens if that round's a 5-round fight though?
Yeah,
that was only a 3-rounder, right?
with Van.
With Van,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's the other question: is how do you think Van's going to hold up in a 5-rounder against Pantoja as
Yeah.
well? Like he's never fought 5. Well, I think he had the last fight before this was that a 5-rounder actually.
Josh Van.
Yeah, then
No.
he fought. No, it was all 3-rounders.
I don't know. Any Josh Van that I've seen, he hasn't really shown any signs of fading crazy.
Yeah.
No, he looks good.
So I wouldn't be as concerned with that as
I'm not worried about
as
him
I am.
fading, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
as
worried about
Pantoja
Pantoja
is
going
wrapping
full
that
backpack.
Yeah.
He's going to take his back and fucking hold it or finish him from the back.
It
That's
really is amazing how these guys are
Yeah.
like so dominant. Like,
well, dude. The ability to have those long legs to lock up the body triangle
Yeah.
is. I can't do it, but
yeah,
but if you can get a body triangle, like guys rarely get out from the body triangle.
Yeah.
So let's say like you lose the first 2 minutes of the fight standing.
Yeah.
But I take you down and I get the body triangle and I finish that round on top.
Yeah.
Like you're probably winning that round.
right.
Like
Yeah, after
and
round,
and all you
how
got
do
to
you do
do
it?
is do that twice.
Can you do a body triangle?
Yeah.
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 You can't lock one up at all?
Fuck no, bro.
Look at these. He's got stumpies.
You do got stumps.
Jordan probably has a better bet of locking one up.
Oh no.
So Cam's fighting this weekend in Gettysburg. Elijah Gardner.
Are you
We're
quarter?
fucking coming for your ass. And I have one other fighter that I'm helping manage. It's Cam and Johnny Rosario. We got her a title fight.
Your manager now.
I'm trying.
Really?
I'm trying. And
Trotsky LLC. At it again.
something light. And so she's got a title fight at 115. She got a good fight. So she's 7-1 as an amateur, good
Apparently
record.
got a bad fight.
And her opponent is 6-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be a good fight. And then Cam and the
Where are you on
promotion
the
is
card?
Fight World.
Fight World. Where are you on the card?
They're the main event.
You're the main event.
Something like that.
Yeah. Is he or not?
I honestly I don't even know if the card.
I don't even think they announce it. Right?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, because I was gonna say maybe I'll come, but after sometimes driving all the way out, how far away is it?
It's like 25 minutes.
Oh, really? Didn't you say it's like Kutztown or something? Pennsylvania?
Gettysburg.
Pittsburgh?
South Central. Like right
You don't know about Gettysburg?
Bro, you know my history. I tried to make it to Atlanta for your fight.
What
How'd that
about
work out for
you
me?
never heard of the Gettysburg Address?
I thought that was in Virginia.
Wait, time out. So I met one of Cam's students this weekend. I didn't know you were a history teacher.
Yeah.
Tell him about the Gettysburg Address.
Wait, Gettysburg's not in Virginia? Wait, I thought the Gettysburg Address was in Virginia.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Tell him about what's the Gettysburg Address.
Are you looking this up?
He said East Gettysburg in Virginia.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a Gettysburg, Virginia monument, Gettysburg.
No, it's in.
No, it's PA. It's Virginia. See, I got him for a second. He's like,
Yeah.
What's the Gettysburg Address?
What?
What's the Gettysburg Address?
What do you mean? What is it?
Well, it's like a famous article, like a famous document.
The Emancipation Proclamation.
It was on the wall in Atlanta.
Where?
In the Airbnb. The Gettysburg Address. It basically, I'm pretty sure it said that the South ended the war. Isn't it? The Civil War. Gettysburg Address.
Yes, there was a battle fought in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
During
The
Bro,
Gettysburg
so
Address
much
is
to
a
have the answer to
speech
this.
delivered by
Well,
Abe
what are you
Lincoln.
asking? Yeah, but
What is it?
Yeah, it was a speech. What?
It was a speech that ended the Civil War.
The Civil War.
No, I don't believe.
Hold
it
on.
ended
The
Civil
Gettysburg
War.
Address is a speech delivered by Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, during the Battle of Gettysburg during the American Civil War. The speech has come to be viewed as one of the most famous, enduring, and historical significant speeches in American history. I'm pretty sure it was basically saying that they're ending the war.
So what was the Emancipation Proclamation?
That was freeing the slaves.
Okay, so that was what started the war.
I would assume, yeah.
Okay, and then the Gettysburg Address is what finished the war.
Started the war.
But then what started the Civil War?
The Civil War was basically this guy's not a
he
history.
threw me off. That's
He's a
what I'm saying.
fraud, bro. I don't know shit about
Everything I
history,
said,
dog.
what the fuck?
Yo, if anyone went to Magnolia Middle School from the years of 2020 to 2023, you are entitled to financial compensation.
Bro,
Let's start this class action lawsuit.
I'm waiting for Cam to hop in, and he's just not saying anything.
Well, I'm so confused at what is your question?
I'm asking what the Gettysburg Address was. And then his question was, which is a fair question, is the Emancipation Proclamation basically said, we're ending slavery, which started the war, I believe.
No, it came after.
Okay.
So the war definitely had something to do with slavery, though, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the North wanted to abolish slavery and the South wanted to keep it.
All right, there you go, Dr. Petrosky. All right. So back to this week's card, guys. After you got our history lesson. All right, we're going to start at the top. So the other Teixeira is 8-0 against Derrick Lewis. What do you guys think about this one?
I have learned my lesson
Betting against Derrick Lewis.
betting against Derrick
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. My ball's as hot as right now, dude. Like, I'm like dying over here.
Bro, he's fully fogged up. Yeah, we need to get him some wipers, bro.
Yeah, I told you guys when I
Dog,
fought.
I'm getting him some glass foggers.
Is that gonna be your next invention?
Some sunglass windshield.
Yeah. So Andre, guys, if you guys haven't heard, Andre now operates a front loader. How many hours did you put in yesterday? You
Dude, at least 10 hours this weekend.
said? So yo,
Shout out to Enright Tree Services hooking it up, taking care of all my needs.
yeah, Andre's a full-out construction worker in the off season, just for the record.
They do not make reading glass windshield wipers.
Nah,
Wouldn't that be great? Just like a little.
right now,
You
yeah,
certainly
right
use
now, that'd be
those.
amazing, bro. I'm about to take my shirt off, bro.
Okay, take it off. Jordan, take it off. Come on, might as well. You already sweat through the shirt.
Right, bro? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have
I'm
to
right
another 10
behind you,
minutes.
brother.
Yeah, all right, good. I don't feel bad this time. I asked him too. I was like, "Yo, Dev, how much would it like affect the audio if you left the air on this time?" He was like, "It would be bad." I was like, "All right."
So
I did say this was coming, right, Dev? Did I not call this?
So does Fight World they do Star Fund? What's their streaming service?
I think it is Star Fund.
I can find that out.
Which honestly, fuck Star Fund. Sorry, but
No,
those
that's fair.
bastards. Years ago, probably 2 years ago,
Yeah.
went to go watch something on there, and ever since they've been charging me $5 a month.
You can't figure out how to get it off?
I've emailed them multiple times like, yo, I'm done with this.
We're
used
done.
it one time.
We're done. Dude.
And every month I'll just be looking at my
broke
bank
up.
statement.
We broke
Yeah,
up.
I'm
Stop
like,
calling
what the hell's
me.
going on? Stop taking money for it's like a fucking charity.
It's like me and Fight Pass, bro. I paid for it one time, and it just always shows up on my bill every month.
That's me with Bare Knuckle.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bare Knuckle, guys.
Bro, but that's the thing. Like, why would a company like that put something behind a paywall if you're trying to grow? I don't understand. Like, why would they not put it on YouTube? Like, did they really gain that much revenue from Starlink? Or what was it?
Starlink.
Eventbrite.
Basically, Star Fund.
Star Fund, you're right. It is Star Fund.
That's a good question. I couldn't answer that. I'm not sure why. You would think,
Yeah.
I would think YouTube would be the best.
So right now they have Cam as the co-main event, but we're gonna change that once we show up.
Once his manager gets there.
Once I get there,
bringing a whole entourage.
We're the fucking main event. Would you rather be the co-main event?
I'd rather be the first fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of there?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, you don't want to be the first fight.
Is it going to be short work?
I expect so. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Quick finish?
Yeah.
On the
I
ground
think
or
so
the feet?
too.
Yeah. What's that?
You going to choke him out or you going to
I think I'm gonna knock him out.
Knockout.
Knockout?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Some highlights.
So you think Derrick Lewis is a big underdog this weekend?
Is he?
Yeah, he's almost a 3-1 dog against Tallison Teixeira, the other
Andrew
Teixeira.
Keeney's fighting again.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he fought Slug. Or
Did
no,
they
he
fight?
didn't.
Nah, I think that card got postponed.
You're right.
See, this is my
But Slug
point.
did fight.
This is my point. These undercards, these other promotions are more exciting to talk about than the UFC right now.
Yeah.
See, you're
Well,
proving my point for me.
Fair enough.
Nah, all right. So the co-main, 42-year-old Stephen Thompson against Gabriel Bonfim.
I'm going Bonfim.
Bonfim comes in minus 425 again.
Wow,
savage.
Yeah. He had that one loss where, what's his name? Your boy Dalby.
Nicholas Dalby.
Yeah.
That's not my boy, first of all.
He was my boy, but I was trying. You were saying something about it on one episode.
I said Randy Brown was going to knock him out.
Yeah,
and
he did. Yeah.
yeah, I should have the fucking gambling website.
Yeah.
You guys should be signing up for my picks.
Dude, Randy Brown's been everywhere since then. By the way,
Yeah.
like I know I've noticed he rolls more with the Philly boys, but like every UFC fighter thing, he's at every event that I see right now.
Yeah.
They're
Randy's a guy they're trying to build up.
Yeah, they're definitely building.
You
him
know
up
what I
right
mean?
now.
And I don't think that they really put like the effort into building him up in the beginning.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
is
bro,
weird.
Randy's got 20 UFC fights.
He's a freak, bro. Like his
20.
size for his weight class,
Yeah.
like I don't know why they didn't think to
No,
build him up
he's a
sooner.
nightmare to deal with. Obviously a boxing background, but his jiu-jitsu, his offensive jiu-jitsu is really good. He actually has a bunch of submissions in the UFC.
Yeah.
Because he hurts you,
Yeah.
and then once you're hurt, he'll be like, all right, I'll just take your neck.
Yeah.
Like,
What do they call that now? There's a saying for it. The not the pump and dump, but like there's something that they're
it's
calling
the
it
pump
now.
and dump.
That's what they're calling it. Something like that. Like
What
that.
are we?
Damn.
It's like when you drop somebody and then you grab their neck.
Pump
real
and
fast
dump
choke
is
them out.
breastfeeding.
When you
Jesus.
drop somebody and then you
And you quickly choke them out, get their neck. They were saying that's how Topuria might have choked out Oliveira before he just put him out cold. They were saying he was going to
Hurt and squirt.
the pump and dump.
It's the pump and dump.
hurt and squirt.
The
bro.
hurt and squirt.
I could have let that one go. What the fuck? Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, that's how Andre's win his next fight.
The hurt and squirt.
Yeah, the hurt and squirt. All right, Decatur Garcia. I think obviously this is going to be the fight of the night. We've been talking about this. You say you're with Garcia. You say you're with Garcia.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
The only thing that's standing out to me is the fact that they're only 4 years apart. Garcia's 33 already.
4 years is a lot, I think. Especially
Yeah.
at 37.
Yeah, Cater doesn't fight a lot though. Like let's see when Cater's last fight was. Like he did have the knee injury,
It
but it
was
seems
Zalal,
like
wasn't it?
was it Bilal?
Yeah.
Zalal.
Zalal.
Oh,
Yusuf
Zalal.
Zalal.
Yeah, and that was what, last year?
Yeah, so he's lost his last 4.
Yeah.
We know about momentum.
I just feel like what I know about the UFC matchmakers is they're not going to throw Cater out there to a situation where they don't think he could be competitive. Like, I think they want to test Cater. I don't know. I really think that, like, and the odds are saying something here. Why is it a pick 'em then? Right? Like, so, like, you would think that he would have been, like, minus 300, minus 400, right?
Okay.
But he's not.
So let's look at his odds in his last 4 fights.
He went a split against Josh Emmett.
Just because we're going to look at
And then
what
Arnold
you just
Allen
said.
Yeah.
blew his knee
The
out.
Aljo loss isn't a good loss for him, even though Aljo's great.
Is there able to see his odds on his last, or what the odds were on his last 4 fights? Is there any of those websites that show the odds of the fight?
There are, I'm sure, but I
think
don't
it's
know.
only on the UFC website, right?
Yeah, it's weird because I guess I don't know how they track that honestly, because like what odds do they use? Like, do they use I guess the closing line, and then what site do they use? So I guess it's tough to actually track that. But here, ready? Let's see what other cards. Obviously, Gaultier's next week, right? Gaultier's not this week.
Okay, so he lost to Max Holloway, and you think it was an even line against Max Holloway?
No. I'm saying this
Huge
week is an even
underdog.
line. Yeah.
You said the matchmakers would never match him in a fight that he couldn't win.
I'm saying right now. After
Oh,
4
you're gonna
fight
add
losing
in the
streak.
right now
Yeah,
part.
that's what I said. Go
Okay.
run it back. Rewind
That's
it.
Jordan, dude. He fucking goes back on his whatever.
That's not true. I'm the most stand-up person that Andre knows. Actually, I think. Nah, maybe not. I know.
Max Holloway, he would probably even against Josh Emmett. Arnold Allen, probably a slight underdog. Aljamain Sterling, definitely a huge underdog.
Yeah.
Yusuf, probably even. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I meant for there to be a pick'em right now at this stage in somebody's career on a 4-fight losing streak. You're not feeding him to the wolves. You want to
Yeah.
give him a chance to win, right?
Yeah.
That's what my point was. So I think the matchmakers legit think he has a chance this fight. And the line's saying it's a pick'em, so that's why I thought like he does. Because like we thought we thought he should be like 3-1 underdog.
Well, Callan Cater's a boxer, a good boxer, and they're giving him a striker.
right.
So
And that's the thing.
I don't
and that's what you
disagree.
just said. He doesn't have takedowns, but he's got boxing.
yeah.
And again, guys have been evolving because the motions that you train, I think that's part of what it is, right? Because it's like getting back up from a takedown, right? Stopping a takedown is one thing, but like the motion of getting your back against a cage and getting up, it just seems like if you can get that and not get tired, it overweighs. It's easier to do that than it is for somebody to keep their arms wrapped around somebody and keep their weight. Yeah. So
100%.
it's just, you know what I mean? That's what I think the difference is now is the guys are just drilling that over and over again.
I think the hardest thing to do is to take down a guy that just has tree trunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only way to chop a tree is to call Enright Tree Services. Because without that, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
That is fair.
And if you need a front loader, hit up NRH
Need to borrow some machinery.
You might get a special guest loader with half blonde hair, half
A
brown.
guest worker.
Guest worker.
An operator.
Yeah, that could actually that'd be a nice promo, guys. UFC's own Andre Petrosky might just show up to your house. It's like the golden ticket.
Anywho, so
Fuck your shit up.
what about next week?
Next week we're
318.
318 already.
Coming up.
All right, 318. That's what Andre thinks about this card. We went through 3 fights and now the first 2 fights like Fatima Klein's on this card, bro. Like, which is weird to me.
Local.
Yeah, like it's weird because like, dude, like against like actual competition. Like, Fatima's clearly a grappler and she can't strike.
Fatima?
Fatima? I don't know.
Okay.
I just let him run with it.
What is it? Fatima?
Who the hell's
Fatima?
Fatima?
I know Oren's been her manager for a long time. I love Oren's my buddy. Oren's got a lot of roster. Oren's got a big roster he's built up now. He's got everybody from like Kevin Holland and I mean he's
Yo, can I say another one that I was on the money about was
What?
Terrence McKinney.
yeah, Terrence, yes.
Come
Terrence,
on.
that was a big win for Terrence.
Y'all
We
need to
talked about
subscribe to my picks.
that. You know, Terrence would look good, bro.
Yeah.
He's leveling up big
It
time.
was another quick finish, wasn't it?
Submission, Anaconda, that he came up on the mount with it and then just finished with a guillotine.
Yeah, bro, he didn't even have the
Mounting.
legs at first, and he got the legs. He regathered. Like, he somehow regathered.
He's dangerous, bro. First minute of the fight, he's the most dangerous.
He's
Yeah.
big at 55 too.
Yeah.
Big.
What? Who did he fight?
It was a good fight,
This was
too.
just last week, right?
Yeah, it was against what's his name? It was against it was a good fighter. Shit, why can't I remember? Here, pull it up. Who did Terrence just knock out? Or not choke out?
Vyacheslav Borshev.
Oh, it was Slava
Oh,
Claus. Yeah,
That
Slava
dude's
Claus.
got no grab.
No zero grappling.
No
yeah.
grappling, and he's 8-6.
But I will say, so Terrence and Kevin Holland used to. I don't think they train together anymore. Like, don't quote me on that, but I know. But they used to be very close, and ever since
No,
that
Terrence is at Exfusion.
he moved, and ever since that moved. But yeah, him and Holland were
What
like
is the name of
inseparable
that?
for a while.
Exfusion?
Extreme.
No, the one in Florida with Adolfo Vieira and Phil Rowe.
That's where Terrence McKinney is.
Fusion Excel.
Is that where he trains out of?
He's
Am I
from
saying?
Oregon.
He is, but then he went to Texas with Kevin Holland, and
Yeah.
now he's in Florida.
Ever since they split up,
I'm almost
they've been
certain.
both on a tear. Was my point though. Like Holland's look great, Terrence's look great.
You think they stop?
I think that they both
Getting
just
high together?
That's not that. That's not, no, I think that they both just decided, all right, like I'm gonna buckle down and like this is my moment. I'm gonna
Fusion
take most
Excel.
advantage of it.
That's
where
the
they
gym
train?
in Florida.
Fusion.
Yeah.
All right. Oh no, I can't think past the sweat. What do we got? So we're moving on to 318 already? Is that the verdict?
Okay.
Is that what we're doing here?
Why, you got any other ones on?
I mean, Victor Petrino minus 700 against Austin Lane. That does. Like, Junior Taffa's on another card somehow. I don't know how he's still on the roster, but they keep going. Chitty against Jake Matthews. That's gonna be a good fight. That's further down on the card. And then Walter Walker. That's another one against Kennedy.
What about Max Griffin and Chris Curtis?
I don't understand that fight. I don't like Max Griffin. He's one of those guys that has a chin, but I feel like eventually he's just gonna not have it anymore, right? And Chris Curtis is good. Like he's your weight class too, right?
He was.
Is he 170 now?
Now this is his first fight down at 170.
I feel like he could if he makes the weight, which is an if I think, but like I think as long as he makes the weight and doesn't have a bad cut, like Chris Curtis is good.
Yeah.
Like he was like one level below being that next like top tier. I thought. So 170 might be a good place for him.
He has a couple good wins. Like I think he knocked out Brendan Allen. He's beaten a couple good guys.
Bro, going down a weight class at 37 years old. How about that?
Has he fought his whole career at 85?
No, he was at 70 before, and then he went up to 85, and he had a way better career at 85.
Yeah. But could you imagine being 37 and cutting down to 170? I know
Nishan beat him.
Who did?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Nishan Burrell.
Oh, did we talk about that before?
Nishan's good, man.
Yeah.
We talked about Nishan on something else before.
He's helped me for a couple fights.
So I guess he saw Roman Kopolov's size and it scared him out of 185. That's where he lost that head kick his last fight. And then Allen, he had a split decision against Brendan Allen the fight before that though.
Oh yeah, I remember that fight. Kobilov and Chris Curtis.
Yeah, because after we did the casino show.
Did you see the video of them jumping in the cage and fucking fighting the kid after he won his fight?
Oh, Sean Strickland you're talking about?
Yeah, and Chris Curtis.
Chris Curtis kind of just got up in his shit, but Sean came around the corner.
Yeah, luckily,
with the worst someone
Yeah.
commented the worst Roxanne Modafferi right hand I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's been a couple impressions of people doing it. Yeah. Oh, they said Roxanne Modafferi.
Dude, the right hand was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Can
we pull up that clip?
It's crazy because Curtis knew what was about to happen, and like you could tell he was there, but he knew Strickland. Like he was a good friend where he was like, "Yo, like I'm like protecting you, I'm talking shit to you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let Strickland beat your ass." Like
it's a video you gotta like watch it multiple times. Once focusing on Sean, the next time focusing on Curtis.
Yeah.
Curtis is like kind of trying to protect the guy. He's like, Sean, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
That guy that they jumped in the cage and hit is a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Like, that could have been bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're still. Well, I guess obviously not if he's fighting. But wouldn't you think they would get suspended for that?
I think
you can't attack someone in the cage. What are you talking about?
I think there was history of another promotion. Like the guy kind of did egg him on. He was telling him to suck his wang. You know what I mean? Like he really
That's
literally
a natural.
Get him out of here.
It's a good celebration.
like you know, like
I don't know, bro.
Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. I think is how Dana would look at it. I don't know.
Who was the WWE wrestler?
Shawn Michaels.
Is that what his
Next? Yeah, the suck it. Yeah, that's kind of what he was doing to him. But wait, oh shit, something just popped in my head when I just said that. About what was that? Oh, so Andre wanted. This is what we were gonna do last week. Andre feels a certain type of way about this guy, the Liver King, bullying Joe Rogan.
Damn it!
Oh,
What
yeah,
happened?
I had the liver ready. I was going to bring the liver.
Well, what is
in.
your message? Didn't you want to say something to the Liver King?
I had something ready. You know what I mean? I just think the Liver King is a little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do, and I think that I would like to challenge him to a liver eating competition. I feel like I could eat more liver than he does.
And you're gonna be representing Joe Rogan.
And if I win, I'm representing the whole MMA community that is in support of Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
and Rogan we trust.
Yeah, that's what Andre. The first thing he texted me, like he was like very offended by this. He was like,
hurt.
"Bro," he's like, "We gotta defend Joe Rogan at any cost." He literally texted me.
Joe Rogan should never have to fight.
No, but Brendan Schwab made a great point. If you make it through
Schwab.
what's that?
Schwab.
Schwab.
All right.
If you make it through the fortress that Joe Rogan has of armed guards, Dobermans,
Yeah.
and the arsenal that he has at his disposal,
Yeah.
you then have to go and be face to face with a man that you have no prior training as a Liver King that has knocked out how many people professionally as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And that's what you're trying to get to if you make it through that whole thing. So Good luck.
I think Liver King's just having like a life crisis meltdown.
He's clearly having a mental he's in like a manic state.
Yeah. So like I think he had like a good thing going for him. Like he was very like unique in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then have you seen the most recent documentary?
That's I think what
I didn't.
It was
see it,
all
but I've heard
based
about it.
after the fact that he got caught with the steroids.
And that's what set him off.
Well, the basic premise of the documentary is that, like, you know, I do live my life this way. Like, I do eat this liver. I have, like, a very primal life. But, like, yes, I also do steroids.
Do you eat liver?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You
I love
liver.
liver.
You actually live a primal lifestyle.
You know what I mean? I'm more primal than the Liver King, that's for sure.
I actually read some things that it's not great for you.
Liver.
Apparently, liver's, like, really high in, don't quote me on what it is, but, like, bad toxins for your body. Like
Bad toxins.
Yeah, because like that, and apparently the animals are most likely killed in distress. So that's gonna shoot like toxins through their liver, like right before you die when you're scared. That's not good for humans.
I love that you said this.
Okay, why is that?
So, my friends at More Meats, More Farms in West Grove, right? They have a farm, and then they have the slaughterhouse, where they go and they kill the animals. Okay.
Yeah.
They took us through the whole process.
Yeah.
And you're right. If the animals are stressed,
Yeah.
the meat is like more tight. It's
Because they tense up.
tougher.
yeah, more tougher. So what they do is they bring the animals to the slaughterhouse like a day or two before, and they have like a whole like ritual thing, so that because the travel is what gets them stressed. When they put the animals, the cows or the pigs in the trailer to take them to the slaughterhouse, that like gives them anxiety. Like, why the fuck are we in this trailer? Like, you know what I mean?
Like
The whole
dogs
thing.
in a car. Yeah.
They bring them, then they chill there for a day or two before they slaughter them.
So they trick them. They make them think.
So
like,
yo,
oh,
you
this
guys
is
got to
movie.
check out More Meats.
Yeah. More
No,
meats.
that 100%. That spot is incredible.
So my liver is healthy. I don't know about your liver though.
Yeah,
Jordan.
you want to get a liver. I mean, it's no different than the meat, though. You want to eat a well-raised animal. You don't want to eat some sickly-ass animal.
Yeah. Which I literally just saw, and then the other thing I saw about it was that he claims that the $11,000 a month he was spending on, they said steroids was, he's like, I only spent on one steroid, which I'm assuming is like a test base, and then he said the rest of it was just HGH. So technically it's a peptide. I didn't know HGH was a peptide, but apparently HGH is a peptide.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I don't really care.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why he didn't just own it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro, I look good as shit. Like, you should take it too. You can look like me. Like, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but
I feel like that's what like a real person would do, but I guess.
Yeah, he
I feel like everything he does is like, oh, make sure there's a camera. Like, this is all for social media. This is all for that. Like,
bro, I take a 0.9 cc once a week, and I still look fat as fuck. You know what I mean? Like
0.9?
Yeah, a little 0.9 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
of test?
just to maintain a little test sip.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
I did, but I mix in. I started mixing in the HCG to get like my natural production. So that makes a big difference. The HCG.
Wow.
Yeah, but I just like I said, like I used to be dumb and take the equipoise. I used to look great, but my girl loves me just the way I am. But you know what I mean. Just make sure.
What's equipoise?
Equipoise is like what they would give horses is like help them run faster, and it's like more like a hardener and like gets you cut up.
Makes you hard.
Well, I wake up every fucking morning like
I'm doing the job.
Bricked up, baby.
That's how you know it's working,
Wow.
bro.
So how long have you been doing that?
I mean,
and what a way to break the news.
What do you mean? Stop. Bro, I'm pretty sure that like my entire friend group that doesn't train UFC and get in the testing pool.
Does it cause you to sweat like that?
Nah, dude, honestly, I don't know what's called. Because, first off, I came in here and I was dry as a fucking church mouse. I don't know. Is church mouse dry?
I don't know.
Well, whatever, bro. I was drier than fucking a girl after they see Andre's haircut. But
Jesus. All right, let's hear it now. Now you better back that up with something.
I mean, and now I'm clearly fucking not dry, bro. I'm sweaty as bullsack. Like, what do you want?
So what made you start taking the test? Did you get your levels tested at Life Med Institute?
So honestly, if you want an answer, I hope my girl doesn't listen to this, but it was, back when I was in the dating scene, in the dating pool.
Okay.
And I was, I don't know, maybe like 30, 31. And I met, a little college chick one night. College student out in Philly.
Yeah.
And she takes me back to her apartment. and
You went to her apartment.
went to her apartment, feeling like the man. I'm like 30-year-old. I'm like, wow.
What was your line? Did you have
She
a pickup
actually,
line?
dude, we were actually at ladder 15,
And she picked you up.
And she like was walking up with her friends. I was like, they're waiting for my boys, and then I call her friends over and buying them drinks, and then she just was like attached to me the whole night. And that was the time I was getting bottles. Like I was that guy in the city, so I take her, we get bottles, and like she's like, oh my gosh, so like whatever. So she takes me back to her place in Philly, and the general would not stand to attention. So
wow. Yeah.
In that moment, I was like, all right, we got to do something about this. Got to investigate.
Yeah.
And that was my moment.
I have two people that I have had. Obviously, we can't take anything, but I have had my hormones tested 3 times.
Okay.
And it was from this girl. Her name's Kelsey Kohler.
Okay.
And she's on Instagram, and she does a bunch of hormone. She'll help with hormone maintenance. She does all that stuff. The other company is Life Med in Baltimore. We've shouted them out a bunch of times, but dude, they're awesome. They do really good stuff. They do stem cells and PRP, and they hook us up. Yeah, big time.
Really?
Yeah. So anytime
I look into Life Med actually.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah.
We because I got surgery, like a major surgery back in 2022, and me, Eddie, Andre went down.
Yeah.
And got stem cells.
Really?
Incredible, beautiful facility.
And the stem cells worked?
Yeah.
Where'd you get stem cells?
I got them in my shoulder, I got them in my neck, I got them in my lower back.
And did you have any like ligament damage? Well, you clearly did. Did you
a
have
bunch
damage going into it, or just hurt?
I had a tip in my shoulder. I tore the supraspinatus,
Okay.
which is the rotator cuff, part of the rotator cuff that takes like a twist in the bone.
Yeah, I got like 1.5 of those torn out of the 4. I've had since I've been 18.
Yeah, and my shoulder is not completely fine. I still have like some tendonitis that'll act up once in a while, but the tear's gone.
Bro, this is the worst. Like, was it the point where your shoulder would pop out? Like,
I never got to that point, no. But Cam did in a fight.
Bro, it's the worst.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
So, bro, my buddy Justin Bonatitis, who I tell you guys about,
Yeah.
like, we got in a fight, like, just like a scrap, like a brawl. Bro, mid-fight, I remember we were by a pool, and for some reason we were back-to-back because we were, like, outnumbered. And, like, I throw a punch, and my shoulder pops out. And, bro, mid-fight, my boy, and he was a wrestler.
He did the same exact thing. Go ahead.
Really?
Go.
Mid-fight, bro, my boy fucking Justin just, like, instinctively, I'm like, bro, my shoulder's out, bro. Just grabs it, pops it back in mid-fight, and we just keep brawling. Like, he just, I swear to God,
The dude
bro.
you were fighting popped your shoulder
No,
back?
no, it was him and I. We were like standing back to back up against like a mob, and like he was a wrestler. So like, and my shoulder popped out after throwing a punch. But bro, my shoulder, like, that's why like dude, there were like 4 or 5 times where I would throw a punch and my shoulder was just out dangling, and then like it's like that, and then it's like usually like you can like but like there was only 2 times where I had to go to the hospital, and then the one time like they gave me injection and it just like loosened up, but like usually I was able to like look in the mirror and like find it like and pop it back in, and that feeling, like how satisfying is it when you actually get it back in, bro? It's wild, but yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Dude, it's the worst because it's like anytime I've ever been in a confrontation, and even like if I just push somebody from the wrong angle, like I feel it almost pop out. Like it's like, so it almost inhibited me, like as like a man, like when I'd be in confrontation, I'm like, damn, like I know that like I have one punch to knock this person out, or there's a very good chance that my shoulder's gonna pop out.
You
Like,
need to go to Life Med Institute.
well, yeah, get some.
get you right.
Yeah, I definitely need some stem cells.
That's it.
Yeah, and I need something to fucking cool me the fuck off, man. I need a cold shower.
Nah, I think
The equipoise is working.
Bro, equipoise was the best though. I wish I could. Like, I'm trying to have a kid and stuff, so like I want to make sure I take like the little bit of amount of possible of anything. That's why I'm not taking equipoise. But like, if I could take equipoise again, bro, I'd look like a model again.
But don't you want the equipoise? You said it makes you produce more testosterone.
I don't think it has an effect on the testosterone.
What does it do?
It's more of like a muscle hardener and like a toner.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's like what they give horses to run faster.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like just a little base level test to figure that out.
I never understood that. I've heard people say that a bunch of times. Is that like I'm not taking anything right now because I'm trying to get my wife pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, isn't the whole point of taking steroids to like increase your testosterone?
Well, that's what the HCG is for.
Yeah, but I think because it's exogenous, like you're injecting it versus your nuts producing it.
Yeah, that's a good. See, there you go.
That's kind of why
he
they
earned that
shrivel
degree.
up.
He did earn that degree. Yeah.
So if your nuts shrivel up, you can't get someone pregnant?
I'm not saying that, but I think that
Or less likely?
you're producing less on your own.
Yeah.
The stuff that you're getting is you're introducing.
You can definitely, not to get too graphic, but you can definitely see a difference in the quantity. Like
The quantity.
Ooh.
yeah, it definitely.
That doesn't sound fun.
And the volume?
Yeah, like it's just not as much comes out.
Gotcha.
And then when you take the HCG, I could, hit the top of that ceiling over there.
Wow.
I could take out the fucking camera over there. No problem.
What's HCG?
It's like whatever it is, it does something, you inject into your belly, and like a little bit, it's like that tiny bit, like a small diabetic syringe, like a 1 like a one of a diabetic syringe, not like a regular one. And you put it in here, and I don't know, it does something that apparently it stimulates or simulates what is in the womb, like some type of stuff that you get from the womb, and it helps your body reproduce and like neutralize like this. I don't know, something with that it does something
that baby love. Okay.
That's something, and it's supposed to help you
like a
be
warm
more fertile.
hug.
Yeah, and it helps men and women apparently become more fertile.
HCG.
Yeah, and it also helps like if you've been taking tests, it brings your balls back to normal size.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my doctor guru analysis.
Fair enough.
All right, so how we doing on time? You guys want to talk about anything else this card?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right, Cam, you gonna get a big dub for us this week?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
guys,
sir.
we'll keep you posted. How
Yo,
Cam
check
does.
out Cam Scalio on Instagram.
Yeah, go check him
Just
out.
Cam Scalio, right?
Let's get him up to 2K. I think I saw.
Yeah,
right below-
Cameron
yeah.
Scalio.
Cameron Scalio.
Yeah, we'll pop his ad up for you.
Who was the fighter that was the teacher? Forrest Griffin? Stephen Bonner?
No, neither. Not
He was like a teacher while he was on the Ultimate Fighter or
Rich
something.
Frank.
Rich Franklin.
Was it him?
Rich Franklin.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. I'm going to go take a cold shower. Love you guys. Let's go.